Hello, Ian. This is Bridget from Yogapalooza, and I'm really excited to be connecting today with Ian from Terre, Bleu. Hi, Ian.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Great.
Good. So here at Yogapalooza, we're very much looking forward to collaborating with you in our upcoming event at Terre Bleu. And so I just wanted to take this opportunity to chat a little bit and let our guests know a little bit more about Terre Bleu and what it's all about. I was really inspired when I met you to hear about your story, and so I was wondering if maybe you could share a little bit with us today about what inspired you to build Terre Bleu, to take that leap.
Yeah, well, it was really about a lifestyle change. We wanted my wife and I to maybe make a change of life from being in the center of Toronto and sort of a chaotic life where I spent all of my life on a plane traveling the world. And so on one particular trip, I was traveling for business and I saw an ad for a farm outside Toronto that was for sale. And I thought it looked kind of interesting. So I brought it home to my wife, who quickly said, "We're not moving to a farm." And I just simply said, "No, I understand that. I just thought I'd go and look at it. It looks quite pretty." I did come out and look at it. It wasn't fully finished, but it was a beautiful looking property with a lot of potential. And it had a small horse barn. And as a child, I grew up with some horses in Newfoundland. And so I thought maybe this would be something that our kids would love to do, to move out of the city, have some animals, etc. So I told my wife to come out and see it as well because I liked it. And so she came with me, saw the farm. She fell in love with it too. And we said, let's do it. There's nothing holding us to being in downtown Toronto. We're only 30, 40 minutes from Toronto as it is. And so we moved with the intention that we'd have a few horses and tootle around the farm. It turned out that once I got here, as I'm sometimes a bit of a type A personality, I started looking around and saying, what could we do with all this land instead of just growing hay? We had been vacationing in Quebec a number of years earlier, and I had seen a lavender farm there and was really inspired by it. And so I decided, as a biologist originally, that I would go back and do some science research, understand lavender, understand how it grows, what it's like in our climate. I visited farms in the Western United States and started to really learn about lavender and said, let's give it a try. And the intent was really to create a lavender farm for ourselves, with maybe the occasional person coming on. Maybe it would be a agritourism sort of thing, but on a small scale. And if it didn't work, the real thought was, well, I'll have a beautiful front yard, acres and acres of lavender.
Like the most beautiful front yard ever. That's amazing.
Yeah, something like that.
That's
So
amazing.
that was the inspiration. And then from then we decided, okay, let's do this and plant a number of plants. We actually, when I went to different lavender conferences and said I was going to start with 10,000 plants, everybody looked at me with 10 heads and said, are you crazy? There's so much to learn. It's at a scale that, is rarely done. And we just decided we would go big or stay home. Again, trying to make it the most beautiful front yard. And it's worked out really well in that last summer, after 3 or 4 years of growing the plants, we opened it to the public just for, I think, 13 or 14 days. And in those few days, we had 7,000 people come through the farm.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been an exciting ride from there on in. But what I've learned from it is that it's farming, it's retail, it's agritourism, it's tourism, it's customer service. Any one of those things in and of themselves would be a handful. Putting them all together has been really an incredible learning curve and an incredible challenge, but also an inspiration.
Amazing, amazing. And it strikes me too that, with 7,000 people descending on the farm, I'm wondering how many of them reacted in exactly the same way that your wife did when she first saw it. It's immediately falling in love with the place. Has that been what you've been noticing with the guests?
Absolutely. It's their first reaction is they come up to me or my wife and say, you guys are living the dream. This is so dreamlike here. You just look at 500-foot rows of lavender just going on as far as your eye can see, and the smell is in the air. We raise honeybees as well, so you hear the low, gentle buzz of honeybees pollinating on the lavender. After a good rain, there's just this really sweet smell in the air. So people feel that when they come on the farm. They love it. I remember the first day we opened, two elderly women arrived at the farm, and they said, we saw what you were doing at the farm online on Facebook, and we saw this gazebo, this pretty little area that actually we're going to host Yogapalooza from that very same gazebo. And these women said, we're coming here, and they pointed down to the back of the field, and they said, we're going to go sit there, and we're going to chat all day long. It's so peaceful and beautiful. And they did. No lights, nothing. They just stayed there all day and chatted as friends. It was wonderful.
It really is that kind of place, and that's why I'm so excited that you've decided to open your doors for Yogapalooza this year. It's the picture that you've painted in terms of being able to awaken your senses with the smell and the sights and all of that, and just the sense of being in nature. I can't think of a more perfect backdrop to practice yoga set to live music. I think it's going to be a really amazing experience, and we're so excited to share it with you.
Likewise, we're really excited. The yoga community really embraces the farm. They enjoy the points that you mentioned: the tranquility, the escape from the city, the smells, the sights, the sounds. In fact, we had a yoga class here a week or two ago, and some of the people wondered at first, are we having music playing? And the instructor decided not to turn on the music. And why? Because they said they could listen to the wind blowing in the trees, the leaves moving. It was just so peaceful. So Yogapalooza is at a whole other scale, and we're just super excited to do that, have a bonfire, have people really see the farm when in fact it's not open to the public. So it's actually at the end of a day when we get these spectacular sunsets and the purple hues just come to life in another way. So I'm really excited, and I hope you guys are too.
Oh, we definitely are. We can't wait to see you on July 18th. And tickets are now available on your website, right? Terrebleu.ca.
Right. They go to terrebleu.ca and go into the events section and click on Yogapalooza, and then they can click on the ticket function. And we do have an extra treat in there that if people carpool, 4 in a car, they can get actually a discount. So it's a great way to save the environment as well.
Sounds great. Well, Ian, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today. Thanks again for opening your doors for Yogapalooza this year at Terre. We can't wait to see you there.
Likewise. Thanks.
See you soon. Thanks.
Bye-bye.